What's up, y'all? Rayshawn here. Welcome back to another episode of In the Wild. Today episode is going to be really exciting because, in case you've been sleeping under a rock, you may have missed that we are about to open our very long awaited parking deck on the Health Sciences campus. If you are like me and have worked here, been here around for a while, parking on the Health Sciences campus has always been like a little point of contention, I guess. And so we have Dale Hartenburg to come back for a special round of Partner Progress to give us all the updates about the new parking deck and how you soon can park there very, very soon. And we have good friend of the show, Danielle Hayes, to come talk to us because she is back on campus as a lecturer for the Department of Communication, GoCom. And I'm excited to talk to them. So hope you're ready, Jag Nation, because here we go. Well, welcome back, Dale, to In the Wild. It's always exciting to have you here because I feel like you know all the things. You have the information for all the things. So I guess just starting off with some really exciting news is that our Health Sciences campus is going to have the parking deck, the long-awaited parking deck.
Long-awaited parking deck. Rayshawn, how many times have I sat down across from you for these podcasts to talk about parking? It's just been, I think we're up to 5 or 6 now.
Yeah.
I'm excited to tell you now that we have a contract date for a certificate of occupancy that is early March 2025. By the time this episode airs, there's a slight possibility that we might even be using that parking deck. And so we're excited about it coming to campus. The new parking deck is 1,350 spaces. It is a monstrosity of a building. For some reference, if you've ever been to the Cyber Center, it is twice the size of the parking deck down there. So we're looking forward to it, because it'll help solve a long-standing problem about parking congestion on campus. But that comes kind of with a caveat from my perspective of, in the future, how does the new parking deck and all of these spaces change patterns of behavior? Right? Who will eventually use it? Now, we've put together models and different things, and we have ideas about what will happen, but really we're looking forward to the students and the employees using it.
And you were saying earlier that for currently, we have about 1,300 spaces without the parking deck on campus, and this deck also has 1,300 spaces, so it's going to double what the parking experience is like on the Health Sciences campus.
Right. It essentially takes all of the spaces that were in the center of the Health Science campus and basically now creates a second one in capacity. We still have a lot more spaces than 1,300 in the Health Science as a whole when you look at all the outlying and perimeter lots. But yes, for having a very brief walk to your office or to your classroom, this new parking deck is really going to provide some capacity.
I'm excited. So, obviously, this has been long awaited, and a lot of things went into making this happen. So what does that look like when, I guess, students do get the opportunity to park in the parking deck? What does that look like?
So the parking deck has been broken into a couple different segments, if you will, from an operational point of view. It'll all look like a parking deck once you get inside. Okay, but the top 2 levels have been specifically set aside for students who live at Oak and Elm. There's 500 spaces that'll be on these top 2 levels, and basically it'll provide students with immediate access to parking. Right now, a student who lives in Oak and Elm has to get on a shuttle bus, has to ride 5 minutes away out to lot 38, or it's like a 10 to 15 minute walk. So this just gives them the convenience of parking with immediate access to where they're living. So those are the top 2 floors for housing. The bottom floor is a very abbreviated floor. It's got just because it's the ground only, and there's about 125 spaces there that'll be offered as reserved parking. And we'll come back and touch on reserved parking in a second. But that leaves basically floors 2, 3, and 4 for commuter students and for non-reserved employees. 750 new spaces that are just open and available to anybody on campus. So let me go back to that reserved piece. Along with the parking deck, the university approved some changes in parking policy, parking procedure, if you will. The biggest one being for most people is that we will now offer reserved parking to all employees. Before, You had to have a director title and above to get a reserved parking, but now folks can go online at the parking website. They can fill out the form. You can kind of give us a general idea of where on campus you would like to park. And this reserved parking is just not at the new deck, but is throughout the entirety of the Augusta University campus, wherein you can request reserved parking.
I think that's going to be game changing within itself because as an employee, the opportunity to be able to have my own parking spot on campus really, really excites me. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Rashawn, what it really boils down to is you now have the choice in how you come and park on campus. Before with our capacity issues, we really couldn't offer that. And so now, if you feel like, hey, a reserved space is for me, then you can do that. If you're like, no, it looks like there'll be plenty of spaces on campus, non-reserved, commuter-wise, you can maintain that option as well.
And I love it. But switching gears a little bit, just over to campus dining, because campus got a new addition on Somerville that we didn't get to talk about last time you were here. So do you want to,
We did.
Share about that?
Yeah, so right at the start of the fall semester, in the JSAC food court, we added a Brewster's ice cream location. And so it's a full-service Brewster's. They have the full menu that they have at their brick and mortar locations around town. But this is now something where students can go in and use the flex dollars in their meal plan and buy an ice cream. The JSAC food court is open. It opens pretty early in the morning, around 7:30, but it's open till 5 every day. So if you're between classes and you just need a milkshake to take that break, you can go over to Brewster's and do that.
What has the response been like for the new Brewsters?
It's interesting because I'm not a big sweets guy, and so I kind of go watch, and you're like, really? 10:30, you're getting ice cream? But it's a great addition because sometimes we both know how college life can be from a student perspective, in that you just get into a routine and you want something a little different, right? And so it affords students the opportunity, and really staff who are up here on Somerville, to take a little break, do something a little different, and have ice cream just as a way to brighten up their day.
I'm not the biggest ice cream person, but I feel like I need to try it out. Like I've tried out everything else, so I feel I need to check off the Brewsters on my list.
Yep.
Any other, I guess, things that we can expect in terms of dining that?
So we don't have a lot right now because we're mid-year, but students should be on the lookout. There'll be new opportunities to select meal plans for the fall of 2025. That'll be coming here during the middle of the semester. And so just be aware of that. There will probably be some changes in what you see, just based on, how plans are defined, what the balances are, things like that. And so we look forward to providing a little more flexibility in meal plans as we go forward.
What about the Roar Store? Anything exciting happening over at the Roar Store?
So the Roar Store is constantly receiving new product. We're getting new lines in of Under Armour apparel.
Nice.
For our, through our agreement with the university with them. We have some new things, obviously being wintertime. You can go in there, you can get a hoodie, you can get a jacket. It'd be a little cooler here in Augusta. It's not cold in Augusta, but it'd be a little cooler here, and you can go get some apparel for the wintertime.
Yeah, we always have the random cold days of winter, but not like a full winter. Which I'm always excited because I always get to see some of the new merch that comes out, and I'm like just adding this on my never-ending like merch wish list of things that I want to buy. But I definitely want to get some hoodies this year.
Well, everything you see in the store is also be available to order online. So if you're like, hey, that looks great, but I really maybe mom can get that for me or something like that. Anybody can go online. Anytime you buy something, you can either have it shipped to an off-campus address, or you can have it picked up right at the Washington Hall location.
Oh, nice. And with so many different areas just kind of like under your wing, what is something, I guess, students like may be surprised to learn about with all of the different cool things that you get to do?
So surprise, that's a good word, okay? When I think about the new parking deck, all of those new spaces, that really changes what mobility looks like for students on campus. And so my team and I, we're kind of watching and waiting to see what happens and how people act differently. There'll certainly be some changes to the transportation system. We probably run some shuttle routes right now that will become unnecessary once there's sufficient parking capacity at the deck. And so you'll see some changes over time. We didn't we're not going in on the first day it opens and we're saying, hey, we're stopping everything else, okay? We're going to let some things stay in place for 30 to 60 days so that we can understand and make gradual changes. But probably the biggest surprise to most students will be that as we move toward fall of 2025, the university has approved that there will be reserved parking areas on the health science campus for students. I can't tell you how many meetings I have been in with the Graduate Student Government Association, with MCG and DCG leadership about securing reserved parking for students. And so we're going to create a couple areas in the center of campus for them. And these details will come out later in the semester. But these areas will be for students. There'll be a priority to register for these. And so we will sell them until all the spaces are gone. So if you're a first-year student, I kind of feel like you're going to be the lowest in the priority and may not get the opportunity to do this. But we're looking at having about 500 reserved spaces on campus, down on the health science campus, that students can purchase for fall 2025.
That's going to be game-changing as well. And I'm also curious, just for you, because we've talked about this, our ideas regarding parking and all the cool things that we could do. What is it like for you to see all this come to life?
I sit here and I'm analytical by nature. And so I look at things and I'm trying to predict where people are going to go, what people are going to do. I may have even mentioned to my boss that, hey, we might want to start thinking about that next parking deck. Because, there'll still be corners of campus. And we've identified, like the corner up by the health science building is still going to be parking capacity up there is not unlimited. And so there'll still be, sort of a future need for what we do and how we assist people. Our shuttles available to make sure that people can park and get to those locations. So, trust me, I'm very excited about this coming. I think it solves a very long-standing question about parking and capacity for parking down on the south end of campus at the health sciences. But man, it's really going to change campus for the better.
Like I said before, I'm super excited. And there's going to probably be a ribbon cutting and all of that stuff to, I guess, officially open the space.
Yeah, there will be. Once we have that official certificate of occupancy and we open, we will pause one day and, we're going to let people in right away, right? Because we've been waiting too long to kind of have this much parking availability. So the second we have our certificate, we're going to go ahead and use the parking deck. And then shortly after that, we'll have our formal ribbon cutting and have a giant celebration on campus. We'll have to come up with what's our unique giveaway for having attended.
Yeah.
But there's some good ideas there.
I'm excited, and I'll be there. And I guess to shift gears just a little bit, because I think a lot of people also don't know of all of the, work that it takes to provide these services to students, especially kind of going back to just Hurricane Helene. Like, our friends at Sodexo were going above and beyond during that time period, for sure.
Yeah. So Rashawn, I work with a team of companies really as part of auxiliary services to help deliver services to students. And during the hurricane, Sodexo, who's our campus food service provider, their team was on campus every day during the closure. They were supporting the volunteers and the workers who were here on campus and providing them a meal. And so I appreciate their efforts. Likewise, our shuttle company, Horizon Motor Coach, they were here and they were helping out. They helped transport our students back, the students who were evacuated to Gordon College. And so really they've done a tremendous help to our campus, really during a time when everybody was struggling. And I appreciate those efforts and the opportunity to thank them.
Yeah, we definitely couldn't have made it through that without them.
Right.
Before I let you go, for folks like me who are super excited, who may have questions or, I don't know, maybe ideas as we open the parking deck and just other, campus dining and stuff updates, what's the best way to let you guys know?
So if anybody wants to transition and look for a reserved parking space, there's a form for that on our parking website. There'll be detailed information about what the parking deck looks like, how it functions, right? Where can I park? That information is also on our website. But anytime you have a question about parking or about anything, with parking, you can start by emailing parkingoffice@augusta.edu. And if your question is more generally based, just simply email auxiliary at augusta.edu. Those questions will find their way to my team, and we will get answers for you and hopefully get you the best service and experience here at the university.
As always, thank you, Dale, for being here and getting us all excited for what's to come in the, I guess, next couple of weeks or months, or by this time.
Rishon, I look forward to coming on to podcasts and not talking about parking ever again.
Hello, my name is Susan Davies, and I'm your Vice President for Enrollment and Student Affairs. I'm so delighted that I get to talk with you today about 4 to Finish. These are 4 aspects that we want you to incorporate into your life here at Augusta University in order to be successful. We feel like if you incorporate 4 to Finish, that you will be happier with your Augusta University experience and that you'll graduate on time. So what is 4 to Finish? Number 1, engage. We want you to engage both inside and outside of the classroom. Join a club or organization, speak with your faculty member after class, engage in undergraduate research. Number 2, we want you to make purposeful choices. Make purposeful choices about how you spend your time, about your major, and even about who you study with. Make purposeful choices. 3 is to develop your academic mindset. We want you to come into college and to be a student here at Augusta University with a growth mindset, with a mindset that allows for you to learn from others and to bounce back easily from mistakes. And number 4 is to follow your program pathway. This means following your curriculum in order to graduate on time, but it also means thinking about what you want to incorporate into your academic program to make it even more holistic for you. That might include an internship or student leadership. When you graduate from Augusta University, we want you to graduate with your degree in one hand and a career plan in the other. And 4 to Finish will get you there.
Welcome, Danielle, back to In the Wild, but this is your first time in the studio.
It is. I'm so grateful to be here, and the set looks good.
Thank you. Shout out to our team for helping make all of the things happen for our set. But welcome back to campus, which you're, I guess, never really truly left, but you're back full-time now as a faculty member. So how has it been so far being a full-time faculty member on campus?
You know, it feels good to be home. I'm a proud alum of our university. I started here when I was 17.
Wow.
And I say that AU pretty much raised me and prepared me for every aspect of my career. So starting here at 17, graduating, working in TV news, then coming back, starting my PR career here in communications and marketing, and then getting my master's from here in educational leadership. And then I went away just for a little bit to work for the city. And then now back here full time. So it's just, I owe so much to this institution. So I'm grateful to be home, and I'm not leaving again.
Well, I love that because I love working with you. And as you just mentioned, you previously worked for the city.
Right.
How, I guess, did that shape you as an educator? Because I'm sure you learned a lot, did a lot, and now you come back and teach for the comm department. So did that kind of influence your teaching at all?
It did, because I had the opportunity to be the public information manager for Richmond County, my hometown. And this position is the highest PR position in the city. And so to have that experience, so I working in government is completely different than doing PR for an academic health care center, right? And so having that experience of drafting releases and speeches and social media content that I knew was impacting residents. And so when I worked here, I was impacting students and patients and faculty and staff. But to know that I'm pushing out policies and other initiatives that are impacting people's livelihoods. So to take that experience of working with our elected officials, I'm grateful I can bring that to the classroom, because it was a great experience.
I guess just what inspired you going back a little bit, because you've been teaching for a while, but now you're back full time.
Right.
What inspired you to start teaching? What kind of sparked that light in you?
It started when I was young. I kind of always wanted to teach, and I always had my eye on higher ed.
Okay.
And because I do believe in the power of pouring into other people. And so when the opportunity came for me to take my experience and to pour it into the next generation of communication professionals at the institution that poured into me, that was an offer I just could not turn away. And I always wanted to serve here on this campus in a teaching position. And so I just believe that when you have ran a race and have a lot of experience, you should pass that baton and make sure the next generation carries it well. And so that's why I was like, there's something that happens on the inside of me when I think about just teaching, because I get that experience. And so I'm grateful I can do it here.
What are, I guess, some of the surprises from teaching this generation?
Okay. So some of the surprises is just how advanced they are, because I truly am an elder millennial, heavy on the elder, okay? And sometimes they remind me of that, because I might
Okay.
say like some old slang, and
Old
they're
slang?
like, not raise the roof old, but stuff that was real popular maybe in the early 2000s, and they kind of give me this look like, what are you saying, Professor Hayes? But what is so interesting is to see just how quick this generation they are to adapting to technology, and so it's inspiring to me, even though it might seem a little bit different than how it was when I was an undergrad. Just to see how creative this generation they are and how determined they are, it just makes me feel real good, because I didn't always see that in my group, but I see that in this group.
So you've been a student, you're an alum,
Yeah.
you've been an employee,
Yes.
faculty member, so you
Yes.
kind of experienced the university in every aspect and perspective.
Right.
How would you say the university has changed over the years?
Let me tell you. So I've seen the campus itself change. When I started here, I was taking classes in the row houses where the amphitheater now is. So just seeing just how much we have expanded as a university, that makes my heart smile big. We are everywhere. And people are realizing we are doing the thing. We are making an impact in so many different aspects in our community and in a global sense. And then seeing a lot of the folks that I went to school with and how they are in high positions on campus. And they are alums, and because they have such a great interest in the institution, I'm cheering them on, because I'm like, we started in the trenches together. So just seeing a
Not the
lot of my
trenches.
peers, yeah. So seeing a lot of my peers who started exactly where I was, and seeing how we're all in our particular areas pushing the needle forward, it makes my heart glad.
Yeah, and one of the big things that's happening is that we are about to have a brand new parking deck on the Health Sciences
Yes,
campus.
right.
As someone that used to work on the Health Sciences campus,
That's
you know
right.
how needed that has been.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Number one, it's a testament to our growth. It is.
For sure.
It's a testament to our growth, which continues to show how we are moving in the right direction as an institution. And then secondly, I'm like, oh, thank God. Like you said, I used to work on the Health Sciences campus, and I know how tough it is to, find a parking space. And so this is just another way our institution, they're meeting the needs. And also, again, it's a good it's proof to where we're headed. So I'm happy that we're getting a new parking deck.
I love that. Is there anything else that you would like to see for AU in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I want us to continue to thrive in what we're doing in all aspects. And, and also and I know this is going to happen, our enrollment will continue to increase. And more people around the globe will know our name, and not only know our name, but they'll be like, we have to go there. And not only we have to go there, but people will donate to what we're doing here, because we are doing good things, and we are producing not just great workers in society, but leaders in every aspect of the word. So leaders in education, leaders in medicine, leaders in arts. We cultivate our students because we believe in them, and we see the work, we see our fingerprints. So yeah, nothing but more success.
I love that. But before I let you go, we have a fun game that I want to
Okay.
play with you before you
Okay.
leave. So you are, I think, the first person to play this game.
Oh, I'm excited.
It's called Roar or Snore.
Okay.
And I'm going to read some scenarios to you. And I just want to get your hot takes on whether it's roar, where it's really good, or snore, as in boring.
Okay.
Okay, so these are kind of City of Augusta focused, since you have that experience.
Okay.
The first one is food trucks and festivals popping up downtown.
Oh, that's a roar. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Downtown is such a great place where we all can, we all just kind of hang out. And who doesn't love a good food truck?
I know.
You know what I mean? So let's roar on that. Yes, I'm roaring. I'm roaring on that one.
The new James Brown Arena.
Roar.
Roar. That was
Let me tell you,
quick.
as a hometown girl, I remember when it was the Civic Center. Oh, God. And to see where that facility is headed and to know the kind of artists and events we will attract to this area as a result of the new James Brown Arena, I'm roaring. Yeah.
And maybe we'll even have our graduations and stuff back there.
Yes.
Like I'm excited for that
I'm
one
excited.
too. And we just talked about this one, the new parking deck on the Health Sciences campus.
How loud can I roar? Okay, how loud can I roar?
You an extra paddle?
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's a good move for us.
Okay. This is interesting. The push to make Augusta a more film-friendly city for major productions, because we have had some city some movies pop up in the city.
Yeah, in my previous role, I had a great opportunity to work with Destination Augusta and Film Augusta, and we've had a lot of great films, like you said already, film in our city. And so Augusta, we have a lot of great spots, and we're just a great film location. So we need to keep that on the map, and I see more opportunities for our students to participate. So it's more jobs, and that's a win for all of us.
Local coffee shops in Augusta.
I guess I should just keep it up on the roar.
So you're all roar?
Let me tell you something. I don't drink coffee, but I know a lot of coffee drinkers.
Okay.
But I even love the ambiance of a good coffee shop. And again, it's always an economic boom for our city. So yeah, I'm roaring on that one.
Do you have any favorite spaces or spots that you like to go to?
Oh.
Even though you're not a coffee drinker?
I'm not. You know what? I do love Buena Cafe.
Okay.
Yeah, I love
And they're
them.
Jack Perk's partner, so shout out to them.
I worked in PR. I know what I'm doing.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, seasonal farmers market at Riverwalk.
I really should just
Augusta
keep this
Market.
up.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because every person in our city adds to moving our city forward. And I don't know about you, but we can't go get the fruits and stuff we want without farmers. Farmers are a major player for us in our society. So this is a great way for us to get fresh food and to directly support those who do what they need to do on their end to support us. So yeah. So I support them.
I have not been in so long. It's been years, but the few times that I have gone, I've really loved it because it's not just literally produce. It's a little bit of everything. Like businesses from all sorts of the area come together to go to the farmers market.
That's right. Yeah. True. Yeah. Very true.
This is I guess newer thing. The bike lanes being added to the roads around the city.
I really will just keep this up on the road, okay? And again, that's a plus because our society, we are becoming more active. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'm riding bikes a little bit more.
Okay.
And so that promotes safety, and that also promotes us getting more active as a community. And some folks, they don't. They may not want to pull out their car. They're like, my family and I, we just want to ride our bike. So making sure they can do that in a safe way, it's a win. So I definitely endorse that.
Personally, I don't love all the construction because it takes.
I know.
It takes a while to get everything up and going, but once it's done,
it's beautiful.
It's going to be nice.
That's right. That's right.
You kind of already touched on this, but large scale events like marathons and tournaments throughout Augusta.
Yeah, it's anything that we can do. Number one, Augusta, we are a great destination for many things. We're right here by the river. We offer so much. And so, again, not only will that help us economically, but it also provides more jobs and more opportunities, even for our students to volunteer into things they might be interested in doing. So it's a win for everybody.
Last one, and I kind of, at the rate you're going, I kind of already know what you're going to say, but the revival, or I guess continuation of live music downtown.
Of course I'm not going to snore on that. I come from a musical family. I love music. I don't know anyone who doesn't love good music. And it doesn't matter what the genre is. That's another thing I love about Augusta. We're made up of so many different people with so many different backgrounds. And so to have access to all kinds of music and live music at that is a win.
And
So
I
it
think
just,
that's the common.
yeah. So I totally endorse that. Hands down.
All roars from Danielle. I love it. And last question before I let you go, just with all the different experiences and perspectives that you have brought to the university and experienced, is there anything that you still want to do that you haven't been able to knock off your AU bucket list yet?
One thing that comes to mind is, and I know it'll probably take some time, but I have some course ideas that I would love to introduce to the Department of Communication. And I'm not sure if Dr. Brule is watching, but we're just go ahead and throw that out there. But that is one thing that I would like to do, taking in the experience that I have had throughout my careers and developing a course, if not a few courses around that. That would be like a dream come true for me.
Give me an example of maybe some of the courses you're thinking about.
Well, for instance, before we started recording, we love talking about pop culture. So really digging into things like reality TV and media, and how that shapes, the mind, even like the psychological part in that. So taking things that we do watch on a daily basis. Right now, working on my dissertation, so digging into the power of social media and how that even touches maybe mental health and how that has even shaped our society. So really digging into various aspects of social media and reality TV and other forms of pop culture and media. So I got him in my head. I just got to I got to pitch it right.
I got you. Well, look, if you want a co-instructor,
you
yes. already know.
Yes, we will tag team. You do the first half, I do the second
half.
That's right.
No, we got to do it all together.
We'll do it all together. You know what? And that's a roar. Wow.
Thank you so much, Danielle,
for
talking to me. Hopefully next time when you come back, we can talk more about reality TV, because we do that already.
We really do that.
Off camera, but
yes.
As always, thanks for being a good friend to the show and friend to me.
Yes, thank you. And again, I'm proud of what you're doing. It looks amazing. This is such a great show. And yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I certainly enjoyed talking to Dale. I can't wait to just experience the parking deck for myself. And I enjoyed chatting with Danielle. It's always good to catch up with your friends, especially on the show. So I hope you guys, if you are ever on the Health Sciences campus, check out the parking deck. And if you see Danielle around campus, be sure to say hey. And if you like this episode, you already know what I'm about to say. Like, subscribe, do all the things to let us know you enjoyed it. Let's keep the conversation going on social media. Follow us on Instagram to let us know if you're going to be parking in the new parking deck anytime soon. I know I am. And until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Go Jags!